So Yelena's back. Plus, I've officially decided I don't like Kate Bishop's character, but I'm going to explain what's going on YouTube. Welcome to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Today we are talking episode 4 of Hawkeye. If you didn't see episodes 1 through 3, my reaction to that is down in the description below. So check that out. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell. Hit the like button even if you like it thus far. We're going to talk about the 3 biggest takeaways from this episode, ending, of course, with Yelena. But first, we have to talk about Kate Bishop. And it's unfortunate. I really did want to like her character. I think, there was so much potential for Haley Steinfeld, who's a pretty good actress, to really take on this role and kind of be a fan favorite for the Young Avengers and stuff like that. But it's the writing of this character. And these types of characters generally don't mesh well with audiences. They're overly confident, and her overly confident demeanor and attitude, especially to somebody she idolizes. She's supposed to be idolizing this Hawkeye character. At least that's what she says. But in every single chance that she gets, she's undermining him, backtalking him, or straight up disobeying. Like, especially, you look at Hawkeye, he's a bona fide superstar superhero, right? Even though the show tries to downplay that, and I talked about that in my last episode. I mean, this dude has worked for the government, worked for the Avengers, done all these Black Ops. He's been in so many missions. He works side by side with the Black Widow, right? And Kate Bishop has done none of these things ever in her life, like ever. She's a good archer. She's a good archer. That's it. And only because Hawkeye kind of validated her and said, hey, look, you're a good archer. He would be an authority on that subject because he's probably fought and seen a lot of different archers, right? So he says she's a good archer. Other than that, she has no field experience. And especially in particular with the scene on the rooftop, she goes out of her way to just disobey him at every turn. Somehow that she would be arrogant enough to think that she knew more in her first mission, kind of first official type of mission, that she would know more than him. It doesn't mesh well. Anyway, we pick up in this episode right where we left off in the last one, of course, where Clint and Kate go to Kate's mom's house to find out more about Jack and stuff. And Jack thwarts their efforts, holding the Ronin sword to Clint. And I thought we were going to get a cool action scene. Eleanor kind of diffuses the situation and has them all sit down. And there's this funny interaction where Hawkeye's kind of saying, we're not partners and stuff. And rightfully so. They don't act like partners. Especially when Hawkeye is supposed to be kind of the leader in the situation. She doesn't listen to him basically at all. So that's not a partnership. And then she had the nerve to be frustrated with him, like, oh, well, if you're not telling me everything, how can we be partners? Well, there's a lot of things going on in this relationship that don't allow you guys to be partners. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is kind of the overall development of the story. So we have Kate going into the apartment to get the Rolex. Maya, who's deaf, she is the owner of the apartment, and she's been taking notes and looking into Clint. Now, we knew this from a couple episodes ago, but our heroes didn't know that. So once Kate finds that paper in the apartment, she's like, look, these people are coming after your family. And then, boom, we get this big action sequence. You know what's crazy? I feel like most of what was significant in the entire episode happened in the last 15, 20 minutes. I mean, there was a whole kind of character development scene where they were learning trick shots with the coin and like watching Christmas movies and stuff like that. But I guess it was a feel-good thing, but it didn't really advance the story. Anyway, so Maya ends up fighting Kate in the apartment. And somehow they all end up ziplining over to the roof. Now, I'm thinking, why didn't Maya just cut the zip line? I mean, for a good minute, Kate was stranded out in the middle of the zip line, and she could have fallen to her death. But plot. Anyway, so they get over to the rooftop. They're fighting this unknown, right? And turns out it's a Black Widow. And I knew this as soon as I saw the red electricity when they were getting shocked like that. And I'm pretty sure that Hawkeye knew that the second that stuff was being used. He knew it was a Black Widow. Turns out to be Yelena. So she's in New York. Who knows why? There are a lot of implications to this. We know that they kind of connected. They know each other, obviously, from the Black Widow movie, as we saw. But for some reason, Clint was unaware that Yelena was even in the city or, anywhere near him for that matter. I'm sure we'll find out more, but for now, she just ran and jumped off the rooftop. So I don't know if that was just a little tease, if they're going to bring more of her into the show. I would imagine they would have to, as she's kind of going to be part of that Dark Avengers potentially as well, or maybe a leader in the new Avengers, or maybe a mentor for the young Avengers. There's so many different places they could go with their character, as she's beginning to now fill in for the Black Widow character. But yeah, I mean, that was cool, and that made the whole episode worth it. But, you know, we don't have a lot of information for her. And I think the biggest taste, a sour taste in my mouth from this episode, was just the total botching of the mission from Kate Bishop. And that doesn't speak well to her ability to play well with a team. You know, when you saw the Avengers, right, and Steve would, like, direct everybody and give everybody orders, they would just go and do it, right? Generally. But it was almost everything that Clint was saying, that Hawkeye was saying, that just, you know, Kate didn't want to do. Also, I think it's going to be cool that he ends up getting a more Hawkeye comic accurate costume. They might as well do that, because it's not like just having him in the jet black cool costumes has really helped make him cooler. Especially, like I said, these first 3 episodes, Disney has kind of gone out of their way to play into that useless Avenger stereotype for Hawkeye. I mean, he's walking around the streets of New York. Nobody's like, no fans are like rushing him or anything. It's kind of just a normal guy. Of course, Kate is going to disobey Hawkeye. She's not going to stay out of the mix like he asked her to. And it's kind of predictable, because you know it's going to turn out well, and you know she's going to end up helping him or seeing something that he didn't see in all his years of experience, which doesn't make him that good, honestly. And again, that plays into them downplaying Hawkeye as a character, is that somebody who's never, ever, ever done missions before, is just a good archer, is somehow able to think about something that he never thought of in all of his experience. And so she'll be rewarded for disobeying him yet again. I think that's really how the show's going to turn out. Predictable? I think so. If I'm wrong, you know, I would love to be wrong in this situation. But let me know down in the comments below what you think. Is this kind of a trend that we're seeing with Kate's character, that she's just super defiant and super arrogant? Let me know in the comments down below. Those were the 3 biggest takeaways from Hawkeye episode 4. Subscribe, click bells, like the video if you like the video, and I will see you for episode 5 as we cover your favorite movies and TV shows, West Coast, East Coast siblings. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!